All right, so classes by guild. This is going to talk about what classes fit into what guild. So if you're really into playing like, I want to play a barbarian, this will help you understand where your character might find a home. So barbarians, you're most likely part of the Gruel Clans, but you can put your rage to work in the wild spectacles of the cult of Rakdos. Gruel barbarians of the Zur-Ta clan often choose the path of the totem warrior and a boar totem. The effects are the same for the bear spirit. So if you're a barbarian, you might be a Gruel barbarian. For the folks who are asking about if Xanathar's stuff appears here, now you know. Path of the Ancestral Guardian might be a Gruel. Path of the Berserker, Gruel or Rakdos, Storm Herald. So it gives you an idea of what guild you might belong to. Bards look like they belong to the Azorius Senate, the Cult of Rakdos, and the Selesnya Conclave. But if you're like a scary, violent bard, like a sword or a valor bard, you might be in Rakdos instead. Lore gives you Azorius or Selesnya, and these aren't limitations; they're just suggestions. So clerics. Now this is something we're going to talk about clerics more specifically later. But so clerics in this don't really worship gods; they worship concepts, and the line between a wizard and a cleric is pretty thin in Ravnica. So the worship of gods isn't widespread in Ravnica. Clerics are dedicated to more abstract principles, primarily within the Azorius Senate, Boros Legion, the Gruel Clans, the Syndicate, and the Conclave. They most often use their guild insignia as holy symbols. So if you are a cleric of the Forge domain, you might be in Boros, and you are like a war cleric who believes in the power of the Forge, but it's not like, dear God, give me Forge spells. You believe in the concept of the Forge, and that empowers you. Yeah, they're like philosophers, magic philosophers. Yeah, right? Isn't that cool? So the new domain, the Order domain, suggests Azorius and Orzhov. So this is a nice way to kind of get a look at how all of these things fit. And what's interesting is we're learning about these through a context we already understand as D&D players. So here's a druid. Druids are typically associated with the Golgari Swarm, the Gruel Clans, and the Selesnya Conclave, occasionally with the Simic Combine. Druid circles don't cross guild boundaries. The fact that a Golgari Druid and a Selesnya Druid both belong to the Circle of the Land doesn't necessarily create a common ground between them. So you could be like a Circle of Dreams Druid that belongs to Selesnya. We got our new Circle of Spores Druid, which is a Golgari inspired Druid. I like that they break down Circle of the Land. So Forest, Swamp, Underdark, you're probably Golgari. Simic is Coast and Forest. So it's kind of cool. Lays that out here. I know, Circle of Spores. I'm so excited. There's our Wojek bodyguard. Fighters are common in just about every guild, with Dimir as a notable exception. In a world where constant tension blooms into physical violence, fighters are at the core of most guilds' defenses. So, Arcane Archer, Selesnya, Battlemaster, a bunch. Champion, fucking everything. Eldritch Knight, similarly, in a lot of stuff. Now, someone was asking where monks fit in. Unarmed fighting style are uncommon on Ravnica, but a few guilds, House Dimir and the Selesnya Conclave, and the Simic Combine, do have contemplative traditions that include channeling magic as a form of key. So a Way of Shadow monk might belong to House Dimir. Way of the Four Elements with a focus on water and air, you could belong to the Simic. Way of the Open Hand, Selesnya and Simic. And then Sun Soul, obviously Boros, right? They're all about that hot fire. Yeah, cool, huh? And yeah, is it fighters are only really Eldritch Knights? So these are just suggestions, obviously, of how you can fit in. Paladins, depending on what your angle is for paladins, you probably are a Boros paladin if you're a traditional paladin. You might be a Selesnyan paladin if you're like Nature Boy. I don't think Ric Flair has a place in Ravnica, but you never know. The Oath of Conquest is Orzhov. I love the idea of scary, like, vampire paladins, right? Imperialist paladins. I mean, Ixalan is all black-white paladins. And then also Azorius paladins, right? The Lawbringer. If you want to be Judge Dredd, you're an Azorius. Right? Elf, scary Orzhov paladin of Conquest, right? And then Rangers, kind of like Druids, though with the addition of the Hunter as a Boros Ranger. I like the Golgari Gloomstalker too. That's a super cool matchup. If you're a rogue, You got lots of places depending on your stuff, depending on what you do. Sorcerers. Now, this is interesting. Sorcerers in Ravnica attribute their magical power not to bloodlines, but lab experiments, right? Thus, sorcerers are most often found among the Izzet. Niv Mizzet is a dragon. Sorcerers who gain their elemental power from laboratory experiments claim they've been infused with some part of Niv Mizzet's power. And I think that's really cool, where they're like, yeah, Ravnican sorcerers, you're not like, I have a great-great-grandfather who is a dragon. It's like, no, I infused myself with the diluted essence of Lord Niv Mizzet, Parun Niv Mizzet, and now I have dragon power. I am emulating the Parun. But it could come from anywhere, right? If you're a Boros sorcerer, you might say, I was blessed by an angel at my birth. Right, Dimir, shadow magic, you like understand magic. Like it's pretty cool. I like it that it's not your bloodline, it's about like something happened to you. You're a superhero. Sorcerers are superheroes in this setting. That's pretty fun. If you're a warlock, you could be in service to a powerful individual like an angel. You could be in service to a like a powerful vampire. Rakdos is a demon. Right? Like actual Rakdos, so power demon. So these are just like you service or serve to gain your power from another larger power. And I think in this it would be easier to say your patron is just around. Yeah, like exactly, Kinney Wings. Like my patron, I'm a divine source sorcerer. My patron is Aurelia. Like she's right over there. I can't go and hang out with her, but like my devotion to her power, and she has blessed me, and I get her magic. Like I have angel magic. It's so cool. I love it. And then obviously it's Magic the Gathering. Everybody got wizards. So there you go. So that's that guy. Let's take a look at the new subclasses. Let's see how they work. Now, later on, the game will explain how magic works. And I actually think it's quite a cool way to attach, to change magic in this. But it'll show you how it's fairly subtle and sticks with D&D's stuff, but we'll talk about it in a minute. Let's take a look at our subclass options. Let's see how these new subclasses work. So, you get the Cleric and the Druid get new subclasses, the Order Domain and the Circle of Spores. You get them at first or second level, accordingly. Let's look at the Order Domain. Here's the Order Domain guy. Look at him. He's got this. He's got a gauntlet, and he's got some cool magic coming out of his hands. So discipline, devotion to society or an institution, strict obedience to the laws governing it. So yeah, Order Domain. All right, so Order Domain, you get domain spells, bonus proficiencies, and voice of authority. I am the law. So you get proficiency with heavy armor. You get proficiency with intimidation or persuasion. You have command and heroism as first level spells. Later you get hold person, zone of truth, mass healing word, slow, compulsion, locate creature, commune, and dominate person. Okay, good. You get voice of authority. Oh, check it out. Oh, that's so cool. Okay, so voice of authority, when you cast a spell of first level or higher and target an ally, they can use their reaction to make an attack. If the spell targets more than one ally, you choose the ally who can make the attack. Interesting. So voice of authority isn't like you command an enemy, it's you command your ally to do something. So you come over and you heal, and then they get to attack after you heal them. They get a free shot. Okay, that's cool. And then at second level, you get Order's Demand, which is channel divinity to exert an intimidating presence. Each creature within 30 feet makes a wisdom save or be charmed. You can also cause any of the charmed creatures to drop what they're holding. Wow. 30-foot AoE charm. Drop your weapons. Hands up. Yeah, right? Stop right there, criminal scum. So remember, this is one of those things, this subclass, you could throw this into any game. Like an order cleric could be a worshiper of Tyr in the Forgotten Realms, right? It's the cop domain. Exactly. The Flaming Fist has a bunch of these. Yeah, it's the Crux domain. Yeah, cool. I like that. At level 6, if you cast an enchantment spell, you can change its casting time to 1 bonus action. What? That's cool. Bonus action, like, enchantment spells. That's pretty rad. So, like, let's see. Is this going to give me a list of all the enchantment spells? Oh, it is. Let me see. Oh, no, it just tells me what enchantment is. Okay. All right. Well, that's cool. I'm sure you'll be able to find some bonus hold Persian shit that really, like, breaks the system. You get to use it a number of times equal to your wisdom modifier. Yeah, priest cops. That's cool. Okay. Divine Strike. When you hit a creature with a weapon attack, you deal 1d8 extra psychic damage. Anything in the game that gives you extra psychic damage is great, because very few things in this in D&D default are immune to it. Yeah. Okay, cool. Psychic damage. And then at 17th level, if you deal your Divine Strike damage, you can curse that creature. The next time one of your allies hits them, they take 2d8 damage and the curse ends. You can do it once per turn. And Divine Energy is oh shit. Oh, this is like a sneak attack. Oh, this isn't even like any X amount of times. This is like any time you hit someone, you deal an extra D8 psychic damage. Yeah, once per turn, like a sneak attack. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. It's not like you may use this. It's not like the goblin thing where you can use it once per short rest. Yeah, but a lot of clerics get similar shit, but this is psychic damage. And that's a big deal, yeah. And then you turn it over to your allies. That's pretty cool. I like it. Yeah. Yeah, Divine Strike. Several other paladins, yeah. Unconditional sneak attack once per turn that deals psychic damage. Hot. That is fucking cool. I like it. Cool. All right. So that's the order domain. They get a bunch of extra spells. Let's see what the Spore Druid can do. There it is, Circle of Spores. Yes. I mean, I was going to give her shit for her boob armor, but I think this isn't armor. I think it's just her weird carapace, which is cool. You protect your boobs along with the rest of you, but not your face. But she's got that cool corpse paint on. What's the name of this card? I've definitely seen this one. It's a 3/1, and when you play it, flop, 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 you drop 3 of them into the graveyard. Yeah, it's her chitinous shell. Glow Spore. That's right, Glow Spore Shaman. Yeah, that's right. She's cool. Beauty and decay. Life and death are part of a grand cycle, one leading to the other and back again. Death is not the end of life, but a change in state. Druids of the Circle have a complex relationship with the undead. They see nothing wrong with undeath. It's a companion to life and death. But they believe the natural cycle is healthiest when each segment is vibrant and changing. Undead that seek to replace all life with undeath or try to avoid passing into a final rest violate the cycle. So, they're going to get circle spells, Halo of Spores, Symbiotic Entity, Fungal Infestation, Spreading Spores, and Fungal Body. All right, so your circle spells, at second level, you get Chill Touch as a cantrip. You also gain Blindness, Deafness, Gentle Repose, Animate Dead, Gaseous Form, Blight, Confusion, Cloud Kill, and Contagion. Okay. Halo of Spores. Starting at second level, you are surrounded by invisible necrotic spores, which are harmless unless you unleash them on a creature nearby. When a creature you can see moves into that space within 10 feet or starts its turn there, use your reaction to deal 1d4 necrotic damage to that creature unless it succeeds on a saving throw against your spell DC. The necrotic damage increases to 1d6, 1d8, and 1d10. Okay, cool. So you're just surrounded by a 10-foot cloud of invisible spores that at any moment you could turn on someone. Get out of my personal space or I will spore you. The damage isn't great, and it has a null saving throw. Like a D10 at 14th level as a reaction, like, it's kind of weak, but it's a reaction. So you get to do it every turn if you haven't already. And you can use it to like trigger concentration checks or whatever. Yeah. So it's not about damage. It's just for other stuff. But yeah, that like con save or nothing. And you can only hit one creature, right? When a creature moves into the space or starts its turn, it's not everything around you. So it's, yeah, and you can keep trying. Yeah. So it's like, it's fine. It's not like a huge, but it's not meant to damage. It's like a little ping. Yeah. Free close range cantrip as a reaction. Yeah. Right. You could buff it with like other abilities and stuff, but yeah. Symbiotic Entity. At second level, as an action, you expend your wild shape to awaken your spores. Rather than transforming into a beast, you get 4 temporary hit points for each level you have in the class. When you, here you go. So while you're in Symbiotic Entity form, you roll the damage twice. Your melee attacks deal poison damage. And this lasts for 10 minutes. Spore shape. So you become a fungus warrior. You deal poison damage and necrotic damage, and your aura deals double dice in damage. That's pretty cool. And you get those 4 temporary hit points. And that's 4 per level. So that's pretty solid. Yeah, I dig that. That's cool. Okay. And then at 6th level, you can infest a small or medium corpse. When someone dies, you can animate it, causing it to stand up immediately with 1 hit point. Damn. Is that it's a reaction. Wow. That's really cool. If a beast or humanoid dies, use your reaction, they become a 1 HP zombie. And they just free stand up. In combat, its turn comes right after yours. It obeys your mental commands. All it can do is attack, making one melee attack. You can use your wisdom modifier before you take a long rest. Yeah, sapperlings. That's so cool. Fungus bursts out of them and they just get back up and they go to fight you. Rad. That's fun. And then at 10th level, you can you hurl spores as a bonus action while your symbiotic entity is active. You hurl spores 30 feet away. They become a 10-foot cube. Whenever anyone moves into it, they take Halo of Spores damage unless they succeeded a con save. They can take this damage no more than once per turn. While it you suck up your Halo of Spores and you barf it somewhere else, and then it just auto damages. That's cool. You and your little like symbiotic cloud, and you can throw it somewhere else. And then at level 14, you can't be blinded, deafened, frightened, or poisoned, and any crit is a normal crit unless you're a normal hit unless you're incapacitated. Cool. I mean, 14th level is pretty far down the line, but immunity to crit is like wearing mithril armor, right? And then you can't be blinded, deafened, frightened, or poisoned. Because I guess if you go blind, then your body just grows you new eyeballs. If someone crits you, they like hack off a limb and you just... Oh, it's adamantine armor. You're right. Yeah. Yeah, that's right, Dreamy Pants. This is like kind of a melee, like fighty druid. It's sort of like mechanically, like it's super interesting. I love the animate dead thing. I think it would depend on the spells that you take, right? Like I think you could make this character really useful if you took, like I would definitely take like Shillelagh at first level for this character. Right? Yeah, interesting. I'd love to see it in play. The flavor is cool. I like a druid that doesn't turn into a yeah, good berry is good mushroom. I like that they don't turn into animals. I just think that's neat. Yeah, eat my good fungus. All right, so now we're gonna get into the real shit, right? This is the setting stuff in chapter 2, the various guilds of Ravnica. So when you're making your character, you're picking a guild, and we're gonna see how it mechanically affects that character. So we won't dig too deep into the setting. I'll let you determine your own. Yeah, also cat. I'll let you dig into the lore on your own and pick your own favorite guild. But the guilds of Ravnica are the government body that is the Azorius Senate, the military, the Boros Legion, spy network that may or may not exist, House Demir, the Gruel Clans, that are Raiders and Barbarians, the Izzet League and the Simic Combine, who are scientists, the Orzhov Syndicate, an organized crime family run by vampires. It's kind of like the Giovanni or the Ventru, I guess. Performance troops, Edgelord Burning Man, known as the Cult of Rakdos, and then 2 wildly divergent groups devoted to nature, the Golgari Swarm and the Selesnya Conclave. So you're not born into a guild, you join them. Some guilds recruit, others do not. And what you join affects your character. So you get backgrounds. So instead of being like a criminal or a charlatan or whatever, you are going to be able to take a guild background, which helps fill out your character. It's thing. Now, this is the part I found the most interesting. People wanted to ask about how spell casting works. Each guild entry provides personal contacts, suggestions for your alignment, race, and class, and a list of spells you can add to your spell list if you can cast spells at all. So if you're a cleric, you will add your Selesnyan Conclave spells to your list. If you're a druid who is a member of the Izzet group, you can add in the Izzet spells to your list. So no matter what class you are, if you are a spellcaster, you will always get access to probably outside of your class spells. So this could lead to some very interesting combinations, I think. We'll take a look at them as we go through the guilds, what they give you. So there are guild lists. About half the population is, but players most likely will. You will have guild spells that indicate your background. They're kind of like domain spells. So if you play a character who has spellcasting or pact magic, you automatically get those as part of your spell list. You're going to get bonds and contacts. So you have your regular bonds, they'll be suggested here, but you also get a guild contact, which is super cool. You roll on the table. One is an ally and one is an enemy. Hello, Blades in the Dark. So you have an ally or an enemy within your guild, or within another guild that'll tie you to the other people. So it makes it a more social game. It creates NPCs to start with. And then as we've seen in Dragon Heist, this is the first book that I've seen. Ravnica is the first book that I've seen that lays out concrete, specific shit that you get as you advance for your own guild. As you become higher, it adjusts your title. It gives you new stuff. You might get experimental gear from the Izzet. You might get soldiers to command as part of Boros. Chapter 4 lays out missions you can follow to track your renown. So more than any other campaign setting I've seen before, this one like specifically says when you reach... Yeah, the Adventurers League has some of this. So this is in the campaign. It specifically says when you reach this renown, this is what you get access to, right? Yeah, Dimir Spy Network, etc. Now, what's cool is you can also gain renown in other guilds. You can be a friend of another guild. So if you are a Selesnyan Conclave Loxodon, you might do a favor for the Boros or for the Azorius and gain a point of renown there. So you could start to like get rep in other places by doing things that are helpful. So at level 3 renown, you start getting to be, you're an established and known member of the guild. All other members of the guild have a default friendly attitude towards you. They provide food and lodging. They pay for your funeral if you die. If you're accused of a crime, the guild will legally support you. And then at 5, when your renown score is there, you get another contact in the guild. So you get another friend. And then others will have hierarchies you can ascend. So each one will lay out kind of what you get. So you can call on services and what have you. Also, if you are shitty to your guild, you lose points. So there's a little bit of talk about the different kinds of guilds and how they operate. If you are an adventurer, this is great. This gives you an excuse to not be like told what to do by your guild. Right? So if you're a PC, why are you special? Why don't you have to like come in and do certain things? Like, why don't you have to like I'm a cop. I'm an Azorius cop. I'm literally a cop. Why don't I have to report to the office? Why don't I have a beat? What's special about me? Here are some reasons. Singled out because someone loves me, singled out because someone hates me. I'm being forced to work with these other guilds. I've been around long enough. I do what I want. I'm moonlighting and nobody knows what I'm up to. Like I'm on leave and I'm secretly pursuing my own stuff. My superiors have loaned me to another guild because they think I can be helpful, or I'm being fucked over here. I'm an Azorius, and they have like sent me to the Golgari to be like, cool. Yes, here's your special mission. You have to go work for the Golgari because you accidentally offended the police chief at the last meeting. So now you have to go live in the fungal. Like, can you imagine like what the Undercity Azorius police office looks like? Like the precinct, the Golgari precinct. Ugh. So yeah, it gives you lots of excuses for building your characters. You get a bunch of stuff if you want to change. You're allowed to change guilds. So if you do that, you lose all privileges and membership, including the background feature, but you can gain new ones. You also lose access to your old guild spells unless they're already on your list, among your spells known or in your spell book. So if you're a wizard and you join one guild and you write down your spells, you can leave and take those spells with you. So that's kind of cool. And then you gain new privileges and do the thing. So guilds are super important in this, like mechanically important and fictionally important, which goes back to like answering Jared's second question. How is the game about the connections between the 10 guilds, right? How is it about that? So let's take a look. We'll take a brief look at them, mostly focusing on the mechanics of each of the guilds, because there are 10 of them. So Azorius is the lawful neutral guild of lawyers and senators. They're also cops and investigators. They have some overlap, and again, just like we described, usually if a guild has one color of magic that overlaps another, their fictional representation also overlaps with the other guilds as well. So like, for example, Azorius is white-blue. So they have some overlap with Boros, who are red-white, right? So there's some connection there. It's really cool looking at the way that they all kind of like link together. So the Azorius, if you want to play like a lawyer or a cop, but not a military cop, just like a regular cop, you could be an Azorius. They're broken down into 3 columns: Sova, which are judges and the legal apparatus; Jalen, which are writing and enacting the law, so legislators, bureaucrats, researchers; and then the Liev column is Ravnica's police force. Arresters, investigators, officers, and law mages. Law magi? Yeah. So most adventurers are probably Liev column. Unless, I guess, you're like a combat lawyer. So yeah, their goal is to keep order, perfect society, protect the people of Ravnica, and foster peace and harmony using the law. Their boss was a Sphinx, I think. So if you're an Azorius, member of the Azorius Senate, you are usually lawful. Here are some suggested races and classes. I love this stuff, right? Play Azorius if you are drawn to the idea of a hard-bitten police officer trying to impose order on a chaotic world. If you like the idea of using magic to control your enemies, or if you like playing enchanter, wizards, clerics of law, or unbending paladins. Yep. Law mages, precognitive mages, arresters, elocutors, if you want to be a bard. And then your contacts. So this is what you roll on when you make a character. You roll once on the contacts list and once on the non-Azorius contact list. So these are people that you know, like a mentor or a good friend who is promoted, a homunculus, once summoned to the presence of Supreme Judge Asperia. And then outside, you're a cop, but you have a friend in the Demir, or you have a Boros ally, or you were ridiculed once in a Rakdos performance, and the performer likes you, right? So this is pretty cool. I think this is really important and a good way to like tie you to the setting. I guess Asperia is the Supreme Judge, maybe the boss of the Azorius now. Yeah. Okay, let's take a look. This is all law. This is all stuff that is lore. So let's take a look at the ranks. So a rank 1 character, renown 3 in the Azorius Senate. You are an official. So you are a justicar, an officer, or a scribe. You can call on recruits to perform mundane tasks and errands. So you can call on soldiers, you call on cops, and you do no official lives in poverty. You earn a salary that supports a modest lifestyle. As you gain 10 renown, you become an authority. So you get a bunch of titles: Deputy of Acquittals, Deputy of Indictment, Deputy of Arbitration. You get a new title. You get an Azorius Charm, which is, I think, a magic item. This is your magic badge. Yeah, it casts Hold Person. So you get free magic items. Then you get a squad of 1d4 arresters plus a law mage to help you. And then you get a comfortable lifestyle. And then rank 3, rank 4, they continue to advance, right? So this is cool. It's really, yeah, right? It's really cool because it matters that you do things in the setting until eventually you become this badass. Yeah, so there you go. At rank 4, you are the head of your column. Only Asperia can appoint you, and only if one of the existing arbiters leaves. Like at rank 50 renown, rank 4, you are like the top of the thing. You essentially you become an NPC at this point because all the resources of the column are at your disposal. You have the ear of Asperia. You have a salary that sustains you as a wealthy lifestyle. You're done. You won. You won the game. Yeah, good job. So it talks about, this is really useful. First time I ever saw something like this was in Vampire. This teaches you what your character might, if you align with Azorius, what you might think of the other factions. Right? So that's cool. Gives you a nice quick place to start. I think these are really cool. Because it gives you an idea, but it doesn't mean you have to be like this. Like, my guild thinks that the Boros are dangerous vigilantes, but I think they get things done because I'm a hard-bitten cop. Ugh. Right? Like, how cool would it be? Here you go. I'm going to give you a free character concept. You ready? All right. So, an Azorius Paladin or an Azorius Fighter or an Azorius Law Cleric who is a member of the Arresters whose twin brother joined the Boros instead. They came up in the world together, they sparred, they practiced, they both became warriors, but one of them joined the Azorius and the other joined the Boros, and now they have to work together despite their differences to fight crime, right? So, like, social relationships, starting impressions, that kind of stuff. It's pretty cool. Yeah, actually, that's a contact you can get, is it? That's so funny. Let's see. Non-Azorius contacts. Where's the Boros one? Person who recruited, oh, maybe it's a Boros contact. That's so funny. Yeah, buddy cop Ravnica drama, right? And the world is a little bit, it's a little bit, like, Boros 99. It's a little bit, anachronistic, right? They have like brewed coffee, like coffee machines, like is it coffee machines? And people can wear glasses and like there's printed newspapers and stuff. Yeah. All right. Speaking of the Boros. So the Boros are the military. They were founded by the Archangel Razia. And she's a semi-divine figure. Aurelia, my personal fave, is the Guildmaster of 99. Is the Guildmaster of the Boros Legion. They are red-white in the game. They have fire mains and battle force angels. They are extremely extra and they love fire. So they're pretty cool. They have a proud martial tradition. Now, did I miss? Let me go back a second. Did I miss the guild like spells, the spell list, or does that come? I think that comes with the backgrounds. Yeah, so we're just looking at the guilds themselves. Okay. All right. So, Boros, let's go take a look at what you get for leveling up as a Boros. You get... Oh, they don't have, like, specific internal hierarchies. Just as you get better, you have more renown within the organization. Okay, cool. So they don't all have that clearly laid out lineage. These guys are more about, like, going to war. That's cool. The Legion is in a heightened state of vigilance. Boros does. Is it on the next page? Let's take a look. There it is. Cool. So Boros is one of those legal ones. It's just long enough they put it on a new page. Okay. So there's the Boros, the guild gate. Wow, it's so cool. Play a Boros character if you are drawn to the ideal of a knight in shining armor. You like playing clerics, paladins, or disciplined fighters. Smiting foes with holy radiance fills you with righteous joy, or you want to protect the innocents and fight for justice. I love the overlap between Boros and Azorius. I think it's quite cool. Because you have in this situation where the Boros, the Azorius character would be like, we have to do it because it's the law. And the Boros character is like, we have to do it because it's the right thing to do. Right? Yeah. Cool. So let's see. Magical study, military magic, Boros contacts, so some friends that you can know, like a friend who serves upon the Parhelion, a member of the Sunhome Guard. Stuff that'll tie you into the game. I love this. A Boros angel knows my name. And then, oh, here it is. Yeah, one of my siblings is an Azorius arrester. Perfect. I showed mercy to a now grateful injured Dimir spy. I think someone I know is a Golgari assassin, but I can't prove it. Oh, these are great. Arachnos Blood Witch seems to enjoy harassing me. So good. Look, and there's Tajik. Tajik is a Fire Fist, Blade of the Legion. Aurelia's boyfriend. Except I like Aurelia because she's the biggest, feistiest murder lesbian I can think of. So, hold up, wait, Blood Witch? Yeah, that'd be like a Arachnos. Is Blood Witch like a separate? Blood Witches are a separate thing. Oh my god, it's a monster. It's a type of monster. Intermediaries between Rakdos and his cult. Okay, we'll get to her later. We'll come back to you later, Blood Witch. Cool. All right, so Boros parties would probably be a military force. You rank up and you gain access to soldiers early on. You live in a garrison. If you meet the prerequisites, you can become a Sky Knight. You are assigned a Skyjack rock to use as a mount. Fucking awesome. You get a best friend. You get a best friend who's a giant-ass bird. You can, if you want, become... Oh, I see. So at Renown 5, you either become a Sky Knight or a Wojek. I will have you know, I know about the Wojek because I'm reading the first Ravnica novel. I'm reading a tie-in novel. Yeah, it's happening. So you can become a Wojek, which is an elite soldier, military police, military intelligent. The Wojek are pretty cool. They're pretty cool. You can be both a Sky Knight and a member of the Wojek League, gaining the title of Skyjack. So cool. I'm a Skyjack. I wonder if you join the Izzet League, can you be a Heckerjecker? At rank 2, you can become a Brigadier, responsible for missions and strategies you can't execute on your own. After receiving it, it's your job to figure out the tactics you need. You lead a brigade of 6 squads. Holy shit. You lead a brigade of 6 squads, each made up of 4 soldiers commanded by a sergeant. If you're also a Sky Knight, at least one of these squads is another Sky Knight, which is a soldier on a Skyjack rock. You can assign these squads to tasks of your choosing within the city where you have authority. You can lead them into battle yourself, bringing one squad and its sergeant with you on a guild mission. At this rank, you get a Boros charm. Damn. You can join the Sunhome Guard. I was wrong about Boros. They got all kinds of good shit you can do. The Sunhome Guard, responsible for defending Sunhome, the Boros Guild Hall in 10th District. You can become a captain at rank 3, where you get a brigade. This is your fucking Boros 9-9 right here. You want to see what the Boros charm does? So there's charms for every guild. The Boros charm gives you Crusader's Mantle or Haste when you activate it. Alternately, you can cast Guiding Bolt, and if it hits, you gain hit points equal to the damage that it does. Then it vanishes. It's pretty fucking cool. Yep, a special effect placed on an otherwise mundane item. You can use it only a certain number of times. It can't be used in an anti-magic field or whatever. Okay. Dope. So that's the Boros charm. The charms are really strong. And you get one for free at rank 2, 10 renown. So, like, I don't know, like, what's that, like 5 to 10 missions for the Boros. So like 15 sessions in or something maybe. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Sun Home Guard, you become a captain. You receive communication from War Leader Angels. You get a comfortable lifestyle. Eventually you become a commander, like this badass. You get the mentor ability. You were advised and ordered around by angels. You're in regular communication with Aurelia. Just, can I see her? Just for a second. Okay, no, we'll look at her later. And cool. Oh no, here she is. I love this girl. I love her. Look at her. She's so cool. It's my lady. All right. And then there's your view on the other guilds. Rad. That's right, Big Mama A. Character goal, make Aurelia notice me. Yep. Now, people who don't want to be noticed, House Dimir. Secret, sneaky, one of the several edgelord factions. Here we go. Totally the opposite. Flip-flop this, black and blue. House Dimir, led by Guildmaster Lazav, a super shapeshifter. Messages to their agents are funneled through thought strands. They have their own special spell. And they are sneaky and hidden and broken down into like cells. So if you are a member of the Dimir, you might play that because you like subterfuge, intrigue, and deception. You want to play a rogue, a spy, or an assassin. The idea of stealing thoughts instead of treasure has a special appeal to you, or you want to deceive your fellow players without necessarily betraying them. Oh, that's so good. You want to deceive them, but not like betray them, but like deceive them, but not betray them. The guild where everybody in it is House Dimir, but nobody has told anybody else that they are. They're like, so, what guild are you in? Oh, I'm a Selesnian Conclave elf. Really? That's cool. I'm an a goblin. Oh yeah? Secretly, everyone on their character sheet just says House Dimir. Cool. So they are a guild that used to be totally secret and now are like somewhat less so. They have lots of people undercover in other guilds. So you roll once, which is an ally, and then another, which is your secondary guild. So the first roll gives you an ally there. The second gives you a rival. So you pretend, right? You have an undercover contact in your guild, but you also have relationships in your secondary guild where you're like faking that you're in another group. One of the parties for Dimir is everyone is Dimir and nobody knows yet. But yeah, this is cool where you get orders from a shapeshifter, an ostentatiously wealthy vampire summons you to their estate with coded messages. Pretty cool. This is a great one. There's some really good jokes in here too. My superior maintains an elaborate identity as a young street urchin, unless it's all a lie and I'm being sent on ridiculous missions by a twisted child. I don't know. Go out to the market and steal me some candied apples. It's a secret House Dimir mission. No, do it. Come on. Come on, I'm your boss. I'm a shapeshifter or whatever. It's pretty good. Cool. Yeah. So they're like spies and sneakers. So once you reach Renown 3, you're an independent agent. So you get a spy's murmur, which lets you communicate with other Dimmer agents. At Renown 10, you become a collector of secrets. You know the location of a hidden safe house. You might also know a secret about a person or group who operates in the neighborhood you're familiar with. Typically their flaw or a secret episode. You want to know what the Dimir charm does? When you activate it, you can cast Blink or Sleep at 3rd level. Alternately, when you take damage, use your reaction to turn invisible and teleport 30 feet to an unoccupied space. You remain invisible till the start of your next turn or until you attack or cast a spell. The charm vanishes after you activate it. Poke, broop, you just vanish. Nothing personnel, kid. Yeah, panic button. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I like those. Okay, so you get a Dimmer charm at the start of each mission. You join the inner circle, and then you become a confidant to Lazav. Admitted to his inner circle of confidants. I feel like once you reach around 50, the game is sort of over for you. You could be this guy, Dimir Batman. Cool. So that's all the stuff for House Dimir. That's cool. So the Spore Druids are part of the Golgari Swarm. These guys, I like the Golgari Swarm because they're basically the waste disposal team of Ravnica. When things go bad, yeah, they're green-black. When things go bad in Ravnica, these guys add them to the great fungal pile under the city. It was founded by Sfogthir, a Devkarin elf. I think, according to this book, who's in charge in this? It's not Vraska. It's somebody else. It's like a lich. We'll get to it. I'll show you. Yeah, they're waste management, waste disposal, and the breadbasket. Yeah, everybody in it's Gerard. That's right. Yeah, everybody in the city of Ravnica is entitled to food. So Ravnica's better than the real world in that regard. Everybody is entitled to food, and it comes from the farms of the Golgari. Yeah, here he is. Being alive isn't a prerequisite for leadership. The current guildmaster is Gerard von Savo. So I wonder, does Vraska kill him and take over, or the timeline of this is right before the current Ravnica set? Okay, so Ral and Vraska show up shortly after this book, I guess. Or like Ral gets corrupted by what's his face? The big dragon guy that nobody likes. and Jace fucks off Nicol Bolas, that guy. Right. So Nicol Bolas hasn't like fucked with the setting yet. Okay. Cool. Got it. Old Nicky B. All right, cool. So the Golgari is made up of the Devkarin elves, the Gorgons, and the Crawl. Gerard is an undead representative for the Devkarin, so they have a privileged position for the moment. All right, cool. So dark elves of the Golgari, elves of shadow, the Devkarin are basically just like drow mechanically, but they're not dark-skinned. They live under the city. And the teeming hordes of the Golgari Swarm believe it is their time to shine. So what do we get? What do we get if we get to live in the Undercity? If I'm a Golgari, what do I get out of it? If you are drawn to the darker side of nature or the greener side of necromancy, play a Golgari. Or if you're drawn to sinister, creepy, or grim characters, okay, yep. I think that Grigori, Dr. Grigori would be a Golgari. Dr. Golgari. If you like elves and druids but want to explore an unusual direction. That's pretty cool. Okay, so you join the Golgari Swarm, and you get your contacts. So you learned combat from a Crawl. You learned one of your parents is an assassin of the Okran. You had a torrid romance with a Spore Druid. Yikes. I know a find broker who can locate just about anything for a price. Oh, find brokers. Yes. Oh, that's so cool. So in the setting, Golgari find brokers dig through the garbage in the Undercity, finding things people have discarded, which is why the magic card can get you permanence from your graveyard. That's so cool. The like connection between the mechanisms. That's so cool. So in this game, you go to a find broker to find you something someone else has discarded or lost. Rad. That's cool. I love that shit. Look, it's Mom. Look. Hi, Mom. Cool. The Golgari Swarm. Badass. Okay, so early rank for the agent. Gerard might not know your name, but knows that a member of your group is reliable and effective. They'll provide you with supplies for missions. Renown 10, you get monstrous favors. Right, because these aren't specific ranks, they're just how well you're known. So monstrous favors, you get, you can ask a Medusa, a troll, or a death priest to help you with tasks, and you get a Golgari charm. So dispel magic, false life, or stinking cloud when you activate the Golgari charm. That's cool. All right. And then you can become an Okran, stealthy bodyguards lurking out of sight, sent out as assassins or burglars. You can become an advisor to the guild, right? A high chancellor. You can become a high chancellor yourself. And then at the highest level, if you're also a dark elf and can cast spells, you can become a Makta, which sounds like a Klingon word. The high priest of the Golgari elves. Claim the position, maintain your titles. Your status among the Devkarin is comparable to that of the Guildmaster. Dope. So it gives you an answer as to like what do 20th level characters do. Also, look at this shit. This is the guild gate, right? The Golgari guild gate. Nice. That is exciting. All right, so this guild I don't know that much about. I know that they're like barbarians and like wildling types, right? The Gruel clans. So the Gruel are a wild people in a civilized land, a loose affiliation of bands that squat on the fringes of Ravnican society. These are green and red. In a world covered with streets and buildings, the Gruel are the most out of place, the most ill at ease, and the most eager to topple it all and start fresh. Yeah, anarchistic nature worshippers. Yeah. The current leader of the first leader was Cesarum, a Cyclops, the ancestor of Borborigmos, the current guildmaster. They're broken up into clans: the Burning Tree, the Gore, the Scab, and the Slizzed. Hey, look! Someone was asking about the Viashino. Here they are. The Slizzed clan is a clutch of sly, skittish warriors consisting largely of reptilian humanoids called Viashino. Use the lizard folk block in the monster manual, which means if you want to play a Viashino lizard man, just use the lizard man from Valos. And then you can play you can be a Slizzed Gruel, which does not sound like a word that I should be saying in public. The Gravelhide clan, the Zurta clan, the Bulrak clan, or wandering hermits known as Trogs. Cool. All right, so they like to fight, and they are chaos worshipy types. And if you might be a Gruel if you enjoy playing rage mad barbarians and savage druids. You want to throw off the shackles of civilization and indulge your inner beast, or you just like being a force of chaos that keeps things moving in your adventures. You can choose a clan or you can roll. You've got some contacts inside and outside the clan. And then as you gain renown, you are proven, and then you can maybe get anarchs to help you. You can become a beast friend, which gives you you summon a mount, a batterboar, a ceratok, or a raktusk. So you can just summon a mount. That's pretty fucking cool if you're in an area where they might live. The Gruel charm casts heroism or third level Thunderwave. Alternately, as a reaction, you can make another weapon attack if you miss. So you get like a redo. Okay. Cool. You become Celebrated, which gives you 3d4 anarchs plus berserkers or ogres. And then you become a chieftain. Right? Defeat them or take warriors loyal to you and create your own new clan. Badass. It would be fun to play a Gruel and an Azorius, or a Gruel and a Boros in the same party and try to like have that tension as they butt heads. I would say I think 100% of the art is magic card art. Yeah. All right. The Izzet League, to which this lady belongs, and this nerd back here. So the Izzet League are obsessive experimenters, keen intellect, short attention span. Their job is to create the sewers, boilers, and roadways, but they do all kinds of like weird mad science. Spatial rifts, arcane portals, huge explosions. So yeah, if you want to be like a weird goblin inventor, this is your biz. Their founder is the dragon Niv Mizzet. He's a Perun, and he is still the guildmaster. He's 15,000 years old and super intelligent, but he's getting the fucking wool pulled over his eyes. But still, he's cool. And it's broken up into various laboratories, such as the Laboratory of Storms and Electricity, the Lab of Pyrology, the Laboratory of Continuism, Arcane Geometry, Plasma Dermatology that creates weirds. We'll see those in the monster section. And their whole jam is just like making weird science-y objects. So if you are an Izzet, if you're a member of the Izzet League, you might like to make things happen and don't care about the consequences. Or you're drawn to wild magic and dangerous explosions. You want to be an innovative genius, or you relish the madcap hijinks of goblins. So if you are a member of the... And I guess we can go back and look at the backgrounds separately. But if you're a member of the Izzet League, you're going to get... let's see. You're a researcher at rank 1. You've got barely competent attendants. Barely competent attendants, which are commoners. But you can create a Mizium apparatus. What the hell's a Mizium apparatus? Oh, it's that thing. Oh, neat. So if you want a character that's... Hi, Ral. He looks weird in this picture. Yeah, Mizium apparatus. There's another one. So it takes 10 days to make. And what does it do? Channels and controls magic. When you're wearing it, it's an arcane focus. You expend a spell slot, but before resolving it, you make an intelligence check. On a successful, you cast the spell as normal. On a failed check, you cast a different spell than the one you intended. Why cast this instead of... Oh, because you can cast a spell you don't know. Whoa, cool. Yeah. So you take a gamble and you can cast any spell you don't know or have prepared. It has to be on your class spell list and a level that you can cast, but you have to risk the gamble of the DC on the Arcana check. If so, you cast a different spell randomly determined by rolling on the table for the level of spell. Oh, and that's funny. And because it's Mizium, to flavor it, you will only accidentally cast Burning Hands, Chaos Bolt, Color Spray, Fairy Fire, Fog Cloud, or Thunderwave, which are all very Izzet ways to fail. What happens if you accidentally fail on a 5th level spell? Flame Strike, Cone of Cold, Animate Objects. Yeah, exactly. Blue or red spells. Your entire list is available, but if you have this Mizium apparatus, which you will be able to build once you are renown 3 or higher, you can create a Mizium apparatus. It's 10. What does it take? 10 days, and then they build it. They help you. You help experienced researcher build it. That's super cool. That's really fun. Okay, cool. And then you can become a Scorchbringer. You get a Pyro Converger. Okay, a Pyro Converger projects fire in a 10-foot cone, dealing 46 fire damage on a failed save. Each time you use it, roll a d10 and add the number of times you've used it since your last rest. If it's 11 or higher, it malfunctions, and you take 46 fire damage. That's awesome. Oh, that's so good. So, like, okay, I used my Pyro Converger already today. Let's see. I haven't rolled it at all today. So okay, we got a 6. All right, I rolled it again. I'm going to fire the Pyro Converger again. 1d10 plus 1. Oh, dear. Almost blows up. I'll shoot it again. Here we go. Oh, fuck. That's a great magic item. An Izzet made flamethrower. That's pretty fucking cool. I like it. So Scorchbringers get those. You can become a supervisor, which gives you the Izzet Charm. The Izzet Charm, you can cast Dispel Magic or Lightning Bolt. As an action, alternatively, regain any spell slot of 3rd level or lower. Okay, cool. You can create your own Izzet Charms if you're an independent researcher. And if you become a director, you can like direct your own lab. An advisor to Niv Mizzet. Wow, cool. A member of the Is Magnus. Ultimately, Niv Mizzet tells you what to do, but you're a member of the board. Yeah, counterspell or lightning bolt. Yep. You can deal 3 damage or tell somebody, no spell for you. All right, Elf, it's your favorite one. Elf, I know you've been waiting for this shit. The Orzhov Syndicate. Wealth is power, and you absolutely can take it with you if you're an undying spirit living in decadent luxury on the ruling council of the Orzhov Syndicate. Built on the crushed dreams and broken bodies of citizens deeply indebted to the Syndicate's banks and loan sharks, Orzhov's elaborate hierarchy of syndics, priests, and oligarchs exist for the single purpose of funneling wealth to the top. Sick. They're a vampire church that is also a business. Yeah, they're white-black for sure. So the Orzhov just want to make a shit ton of money. They are led by a bunch of ghosts. They are full of vampires. They are super cool. And what do we get for being one? If you want to be a lawful evil type character, you might enjoy playing an Orzhov. You move through the corrupt underbelly of society to make respectable people squirm in your presence. You enjoy playing fearsome or decadent characters, and you want to strive for wealth, lavish beauty, or both. Damn, I like these guys. I can't wait until the next set. I really hope there's some like tournament viable white-black decks. I mean, there are now, but I want them to be better. Cool. All right. So if you're a spellcaster, you can become an advocist, one of their lawyers. Their sleazy lawyers. You can become an enforcer, or an Orzhov priest. An Orzhov priest really just doles out penance, hears confessions, and collects tithes. It's like they're a church without a god, which is pretty cool. So as an Orzhov, let's see, what do we get for ranking up? The first rank is a syndic. So you get minor tasks, collecting tithes, scheduling appointments. You're an assistant, basically. You can become a knight, which gives you a quality of character, a knight of penance, a knight of despair. You have authority over syndics, and you're trusted to transport large sums of money. You're like a bank guard. If you're a priest, you collect penance and lead rites. You get the Orzhov charm. You also have the authority to demand services from borrowers, including indentured spirits.